It's nice to see there's people from all over the world here today. Well, this truly is a global community. This is excellent. Midnight in Australia. Thank you for attending. I know it's late, so we'll keep it as short as possible. I want to, excuse me, keep it to under an hour. Yeah, thank you very much. It's my pleasure, absolutely. From the UK. It's 5 o'clock in the 5 o'clock supper time in the UK right now. Oh, 2 a.m. in Australia and Canada. Nice to see all of you here. Handful from the States, of course. Saudi Arabia. Shout out to Japan. Malawi. Excellent. New Zealand. Nice to see you. Welcome. And Egypt as well. Welcome everybody. I like this aspect of it, this global community. There's not a lot of other jobs where I can associate with people from all over the planet. This is wonderful. The Netherlands. Welcome aboard. Romania. All right, well, I guess we can get started. It is a couple minutes afterwards now. 5 minutes after, so I think everybody that's going to show up is going to be here. My name is Russ Horn. I am the developer of the Forex Master Method system, and that's why everybody is here today, is to get a bunch of questions essentially answered about the Forex Master Method and what I can do and what the system can do. I've got quite a few emails over the last few days, and many of the people that are attending this webinar are here because they're sitting on the fence. They want to know a little bit more about the Master Method system before they buy anything, and that's fair. Totally, I understand that 100%. And a handful of the people that are here are customers, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for becoming customers. I'm going to work my butt off to make sure that everything goes exactly the way you want it to go. And that's really what it's all about, is I can do what I can to make your trading goals and objectives become reality. This is going to be more than just a trading system. There's tons of those, tons of them out there, trading systems. You buy the system, you try to apply it, it doesn't work out the way you want, and then you move on to the next system. The Forex Master Method is going to be a little bit different than that, because there's going to be not just me, but there's a staff as well. I've got several members that are going to help everybody make this work. So it's not just a system that you're kind of left on your own to figure out and try to sort it out and attempt to make it work. There's going to be quite a few of us that are going to help you. So if you have the questions, if you have concerns, if you have issues, something's not working out for you, that's really what we're here for. So before we even get started with a lot of that, there have been questions about my history, and that I want to take a few minutes and share, is how I got into the Forex business. And that happened about 11 years ago. A lot of you know me from almost as far back as that, so you know that I'm the real guy. That image you see on the screen is me. That's not an actor. I'm not an actor. I'm an actual genuine fellow. That handsome devil you see on the screen before you, that's that's me. But I got into this about 10, 11 years ago. Before I started trading, what happened is I owned a t-shirt printing company. It was small. It was a small one. I kind of fell into it. It was a small company, and I didn't really want to do it, but just the way the circumstances worked, I ended up with this little company. It was essentially given to me. I worked for the company initially. The owner had enough one day just dealing with just the whole customer relation thing. He wasn't a people person. He just had enough. And he said to me one day, "Would you like a t-shirt shop?" And I kind of stared at him, wondering what the heck he was talking about. And he handed me the keys. And that was it. I was sort of stuck there with a t-shirt shop that I knew very little about. So I did manage to make it work. But I kept it small because I never really wanted to do this. It wasn't something that I was too keen on. I was working there just to kind of pay the bills. But now I ended up with this shop. So I had this t-shirt shop that I initially, I didn't really want to be there, and but I had to make it work. And that's what I did over the next few years. And I never really liked it. It was a lot of work. It's hard work, very, very physical job, but I stuck with it for quite a few years. And eventually I did start making some money. And I had a little bit of money on the side that I could kind of dabble with, kind of play with. So what I thought I would do is, well, if I've got this little bit extra money, I should maybe be making it work for me. I didn't want to do the t-shirt printing forever. I wanted to get onto other things, but I wasn't too sure what it was. I just knew I didn't want to stick with the t-shirts. So I invested my money. I had a couple of really good recommendations in these investment firms. So I threw a bunch of money at these guys, and they did well for a little while, and they made these really big returns, like monthly returns that you don't generally see from the banks. I mean, they were making 5, 10% a month, and they did good for a short period of time, for 3, 4, 5 months, and they went belly up. They lost all their money. Now, I fell for this 2 times. I had these recommendations from these guys that I trusted and were making money, and the first one went belly up. So I invested a little bit with the second one, and again, it did really well, but it ended up going defunct too. But that got me thinking, was if they were generally creating 5% a month return, I wanted to look into it further than I had initially. And what it turns out was they were making their money in the Forex markets. They had several Forex traders, and they were making these returns. I mean, they were making more than 5%. I mean, the 5% was just what us as investors were getting. So they were doing a little bit better than that, but that was all in the currency markets. So I lost my money with these guys, and I kind of pouted for a few days, but then I came up with this great idea. It was, well, if these guys are making their money in the Forex markets, maybe I could do that too. So I started to do a little research, and I looked on the internet, and I did some investigation, and I discovered that Forex was something that the average guy could actually participate in. And being the most average of the average guys, I thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a try. And when I decided that, there really was no looking back from that point. As soon as I saw the charts, this is the technical analysis point of it, and I was looking at the chart, something clicked with me. I liked the flow of it. I liked the way it looked. I liked the the patterns. I liked what I was seeing. And from that point on, I had determined that that's how I was going to make money. I was going to become a Forex trader. And it never crossed my mind that I couldn't do it. Now, the experiences I had over the next couple of years made me rethink that because it was quite a struggle. But of course, I kept my little business, was printing t-shirts. So I had to learn how to do the Forex thing at night when I had some time. And I was working 16-hour days for the most part. I didn't see my family, didn't see my kids very often. I was missing a lot of their lives. And this was one of the reasons why I wanted to get out of what I was doing. So teaching myself how to do the Forex thing at night, and being an owner, I was in the position where I could tear away for a little bit during the day and watch a chart and place a trade. And so I did that. I initially worked with the 4-hour charts. At nighttime, I would educate myself as best I could, and during the day, I would place a trade. Start with a demo account, place a trade here and there, and on the demo accounts, they seemed to go pretty well. So after about 6 months of the demo, I started to trade live, and that was really, really different trading the demo. So I didn't want to admit that it was my fault, my problem. When I was trading the demo, everything went well. I followed the rules of the systems that I was looking at, and they changed all the time too. I didn't have a single set in stone kind of system. I would have a system, I would try it for a little while, I'd find another system, I would try that, and then I'd like an aspect from a third system, so I'd try bits of that. I was all over the place, and that really affected my abilities to maintain profitability, as it were. The emotional factor when I was trading live really did a number on me. I was stressed out every single time I was in the trade. Even when the trade was going in my favor, I was stressed out. I didn't know how to properly handle the trade. I knew I had a target. I knew I had a stop loss. I knew where I got in. I knew all those basic things, but I would never let the trade hit my target. I would always get out way too early. More often than not, I would hang on to the trade until my stop loss got hit. And to prevent that, a lot of times I would start moving my stop loss. I'd move my stop loss away from from where I had initially placed it, and that, of course, gets you into further trouble. So eventually it clicked. I was having a shower one day, and I realized that I have an issue. The systems seemed good when you back tested them. So why was it that I could back test them only a week ago, from data a week ago, and they worked? But when I get into a live trade today, they don't work anymore. It wasn't the system. I was the problem. And finally, it took me, I would say, almost 2 years for me to figure that out. And that seems like a long time, but if you've been doing it for a while, I think there's going to be a whole host of you that can relate to that to some degree. Maybe there's some traders out there that are still in a little bit of denial as far as that goes. But if you feel like you're stressed when you're in a trade, that is the first sign that there is some emotional behind the scenes stuff going on. And we're going to take care of that for you. We're going to really help you get past that. But more about what I was doing was I did manage to get past it. It took me a couple of years, but I did manage to get past it. I was an active participant in quite a few forums, and this is where a lot of you are going to know me from for the last 7 or 8 years even. And I would make quite a few live trade calls. I developed essentially what's this system in its early phases, and this comes from talking to other people that I was fortunate enough to have run into, made acquaintances with, that were in the bigger markets. There were a couple of guys that I knew worked at different hedge funds, and they used systems where it's very similar to what this is. And when I tried to apply this system, I didn't get it. I couldn't understand how they were making this thing work. It just, I couldn't resonate with it. I was looking for something that was a lot simpler, I guess. This is not complicated, but it just didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. But I stuck with it, and finally it did make sense. But the thing was, I kind of had to figure this out on my own, and that's where my troubles were. And that's where you're not going to have that problem. We're going to sort of jumpstart all of that. We're going to get you over those initial problems right away. There shouldn't be any of that scratching your head trying to figure out how it works. The manual is laid out in such a way that you should understand it, but there's going to be a forum, and there's a blog, and there's support, and we're going to help you the whole way through, so you won't have those sticking points. But when you get to know a couple of these individuals, they introduce you to other people, and I was able to look at how they traded, and it turns out that some of the guys that make the most money in the Forex markets trade systems that are very, very similar. And these are guys that we could literally call masters. They're masters of their craft. They have their emotions in check. They never ever trade on a gut feeling. They have these systems that are tailored very accurately. They don't win all the time, of course. No system can. It's just too much fundamental noise in the market to win every trade. But if you're following your proper system and you're doing it right, you're following all the rules, not just the entry and exit, but the trade management, the money management. You're following all the rules. These things work spectacularly. So I further developed this system based on what the masters were using, and I've simplified it. I've added a couple of additional aids, as it were, confirming indicators that verify the entries, and it works spectacular. And some of the guys that I had worked with years ago, I used their essential basics. They have adopted the master method system because it's cleaner. It's a lot easier to understand. You can see what's going on in the markets a lot more clearly. So there are Forex masters out there, the guys that are trading billions of dollars, that are using this system or systems that are very, very similar to this. And this is what I'm offering everybody. I want you to get your hands on the system that they are using, a system that I'm using. Hey, Herbert, I see you have a bit more hair than me. I don't have very much hair. It's disappearing. I keep it pretty short. Thanks very much. So I have a list of questions, and there's questions coming in too, which I would like to cover. It'll help you better understand what the system's about, and it'll help you better understand what I'm about. I'm a genuine guy, and I really want for you to succeed. And again, there's a handful of you out there that have known me for several years, not just the last few years, since my Forex Rebellion days. That was 2 years ago. But there's other people that have known me from the different forums and the different blogs and things from 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So I've been around. I'm the guy I say I am. And what I want to do is help you, so you don't have to go through the pain and suffering that I essentially went through. Forex can provide a much better life for you if you're on the right track. If you get the help that you need and you can make it work, it really can be a life changer. And this is really what I want for everybody. I want to be able to help you realize what I was able to realize. So some of these questions are going to answer some of the answers are going to answer some of your questions, but you'll get a better idea of me, and that's really sort of what this is about. Is my integrity, my willingness to help you get to where you want to be. So the first question is, well, how did I come up with the system? And I essentially answered that already. Was I you know what? Well, I hate to say stole, but I mimicked some of the great guys, you know, the multi-million, the billion-dollar traders that I was fortunate enough to be associated with years and years ago. I took what they were doing, and it wasn't just one or two. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. They found that this was the most accurate way to determine the market moves. And I played with it, and I tweaked it, and I fine-tuned it, and I made it simpler. And really, the case is I made it easy enough that anybody could learn it. Um, the other question, another one is, what is in the course package? There is, when you buy the actual physical package, because there's going to be more than just the physical package. The physical package itself comes with a 256 full color binder. This thing's quite large, printed both sides. Like, you're not getting gypped by any means. There's a ton of information in there, and that goes right from the introduction to Forex, because there's going to be a lot of people that are brand spanking new to this. It's the introduction to Forex, the system that I trade, the psychological issues, money management, trade management, everything that you could possibly need is going to be in this manual. There are 8 DVDs included as well, and they are loaded. There are hours and hours and hours and hours. I can't recall exactly how many hours there are, but there are a week's worth. And on top of that, the DVDs are video versions of the manual, but they're not kind of a word for word. So if you read the manual, you're going to get my take in written form. And then if you watch the DVDs, you're going to get the same take from a different angle in the video form. So there's going to be almost twice as much. You'll get something out of one that you wouldn't get out of the other one. Now after that, there is what we call the war room. It's a forum where I am going to spend almost all of my time. I'm going to be in that forum answering as many questions as possible. And I find that this is the best way to do it. We tried with the Forex Rebellion to do through email, and it was so difficult to get in touch, to be on top of everybody. Everybody had questions. Everybody had wanted some help, and I was there, and I answered every single email, but it seemed to be a lot slower than I would like. People had to wait a little bit to get their responses. In the forum, I can be there. Other people can read what I'm doing. You can follow along the different threads. So if there's a question that you have that somebody else has asked and I'm working with them, you can see exactly what I'm doing. So everybody can see how I'm helping everybody else. There is going to be a blog. I'm going to post regularly to the blog. There'll be little articles and things that will help. And I'll make reference to blog posts in the forum, and we'll elaborate on that stuff in the forum. And it's all going to contribute to your trading success. Now, there's also going to be emails. I'm going to send you emails pretty regularly, and what they are going to be are kind of what you should be focusing on right now. Points to consider. This is going to help, kind of thing. I have a list of emails that I've already assembled that are going to be sort of one at a time. I'm not going to flood you with everything all at once. There's going to be one at a time. So consider this today, kind of thing. This is important. You should look at this. Here's a hint about managing your trade. You know, these kinds of things. So you're going to get this continuous flood, I guess, of information, but I don't want to overload you at all. So you ask questions at your leisure in the forum. You visit the blog on a regular basis. I'm going to try to put something new up there every day, something that's going to help. We'll discuss the topics in the forum. If you've got questions about anything, you can post pictures of your charts, and we'll go through that. So, and it's not just going to be me. There's going to be 4 or 5 other members of my staff that are going to be in the forum that will take your emails, support at forexmastermethod.com, and they will help you as best they can, as much as they can. And if you have questions about the actual trading system, the forum is there. I'm there. We are going to help you understand exactly what it is that you are having troubles with. We're going to get you to the next level. That is why the Forex Master Method is being made available. And that covers question number 4. I heard that there is an online members area. That is exactly what it is, the forum and the blog. Everything you're going to need is there. And we're going to make sure that everything is put up, all the indicators, all the gifts, all the gadgets, whatever comes our way is going to be made available in there. There's going to be sections for all of that stuff. So everything, it's going to be the ultimate go-to place when it comes to this master method system. Question from Van. So I've been trading for more than 10 years and tried nearly everything out there. I also got your Rebellion course, and while it was an excellent investment, I still wasn't able to get my trading anywhere close to where I really want it to be. Is there hope for me if I get your new course? Yes, there is. I'm going to be able to work more closely with everybody through the forum. And if you have problems, you can post them. And if you don't even know what the problems are, I mean, that's going to be a case for a lot of traders, is things aren't working out, but you don't know why. We can sort of drill down a little bit and start to figure out why. I know the questions to ask. I've been doing this long enough, and I've shown enough people how to improve their trading, how to make them successful, that I kind of know where to poke and prod in order to get out of you what I'm looking for. So if you have problems, not problems, but if you're having some issues, some difficulties becoming a profitable trader, there's going to be, most of you are going to know why what the problems are. I mean, and we will be able to get you past those. And if you don't know what the problems are, we'll know the questions that we need to ask in order to find out, first of all, what the problems are, and then from there we can start pointing you in the right direction, getting you around those problems, finding out solutions to solve them. So if you have had trouble in the past, we will definitely be able to get you past those. So you mentioned in the promo video, this is a question from Tino. Hey Tino. You mentioned in the promo video that on the website there is nobody who gets left behind. How do I intend to keep this promise? I want everybody that becomes a member to succeed. That is a personal mission that I have. And that's why there's only a limited number of copies. I can't help 10,000 people, but I can help 750. So through the forum, you let us know where you're getting stuck. We're going to make sure, and we'll work with you as much as possible to make sure that you get past those sticking points. No one gets left behind, and that's a promise. If you're having issues, you're having problems, you're having sticking points, you're having things you don't understand, we'll work with you until they're not sticking points, until you do understand them, until you are comfortable and on your way making money. Barbara, hello. She says, I work a full-time job, but I normally have 2 to 4 hours a day to spend trading. Can I use your method effectively with the time I have available to trade? Absolutely. I understand that, and I was similar. I had a full-time job. My full-time job was a little bit different in the fact that I was able to tear away from that job anytime I really needed to check the charts. But I understand that's not the case for almost everybody who's going to be doing this. Trading with a full-time job is a reality. You have to trade with that full-time job in order to trade full-time. Like, you can't just quit your job to trade. I mean, that's not realistic. So there are 2 different ways that I show how you can do that. You can trade a really long time frame, 4 hours, or the dailies, and I show you how to do that. Or we can squish it down, like what you said here, Barbara, is you've got 2 to 4 hours a day. Well, what we can do is, in that smaller time frame, is look at smaller time frame charts. We can fit a whole bunch of candles into a very small period of time. So there are ways around it, and that for most people is how we have to do this initially. Is we've got to get you trading in a small set of like a small window, small set of hours. So we can definitely help you there. And Vincenzo, hey Vincenzo, I've been very impressed with your free gifts and videos. What can an aspiring trader with no experience at all realistically expect to get out of your course? Realistically, Vincenzo, I expect you to become a trader. You can expect to become a trader. We are going to take you right from the beginning. We're going to show you what a pip is. We're going to show you what a chart looks like. We're going to show you how a candle is formed. All of that stuff that if you've never seen a chart before, you don't even know what Forex is. I even explain what that is. The foreign exchange. We go right from the beginning and we introduce you to the system. And then we introduce you to money management. We introduce you to trade management. We introduce you to exit strategies. We go right from the very, 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 very beginning and take you through right to the end. By the end of this, you will be a master. You will know everything that you need to know. With the Forex Master Method course, you literally won't need anything else because everything that you need is going to be covered. And over the course of the year, I will be employing all kinds of strategies, everything that can work within the Master Method system. You're not going to get overwhelmed right up front. You have the manual, you've got the DVDs, there is a ton of information, and that is the working system. And as we go, we're going to break it down a little bit further, and you're going to learn more and more and more and more and more. What you're paying for this course, we plan on delivering 10 times, at least that. You are going to get your money's worth for sure. And Steve, he has a comment. Says, Russ, I think you've been spying on my trading over the last 2 years. Video 3 blew me away. It was a mirror of me. Wow. Everyone needs to see this. Thanks, Steve. I know this stuff because I've been through this stuff. I seriously, I've been through everything. I've done everything wrong. When I started, I made every single mistake that a new trader makes. Not realizing that fear and greed play a big part in the way you trade makes you trade horribly. It makes you do the things you're not supposed to do. And just the fact that through this course you're going to be aware of that is going to help a lot. And I stress that. I'm going to stress it over the next year too. I'm going to be all over this. Is trade the system. Don't let your emotions get in the way. And I mean, they're going to be a problem for a lot of people, and we will get past this. I have ways, methods, systems that will help you get beyond what your ego, what your fears, what your greeds are trying to make you do. We're going to get you past this, and this getting past that is where the profitability comes in. If you can't get past it, you can't make money. You self-sabotage yourself all the time. Even though you don't think you are, you really do, and we have ways to get you beyond that. Just reading another one of these questions. Simona. Hello, Simona. I have been learning a lot about trading over the last 12 months, but I just don't think I have the confidence to trade live anymore. I blew my first $5,000 account, and I've been terrified of trading ever since. I really do want to get the hang of this, and it seems like your course will be good for me. I understand that, Simona. I do. I blew my first account too. And the hesitation is overwhelming, isn't it? Once you start to lose, you don't want to lose more, and that's where that hesitation comes from. You don't want to lose. You don't want to keep losing. And if you've lost one trade, that could be okay for a lot of people. That starts to shake some people up. You lose 2 trades, well, that starts to really mess with your head. You start wondering, you start doubting the system. You start doubting yourself as a trader. You lose 3 trades, well, then nothing works. Forex is a scam. You can't make money. It just isn't going to happen. this really isn't the case. And I'm going to show you how you can sort of back away from that and how you can absorb all of that so it doesn't become that hurtful impact that it often is. It's quite an emotional shaker. Like, it really does make you doubt everything, every single thing about trading. It makes you doubt that the system works. It makes you doubt that you can do it. It makes you doubt that anybody out there actually makes money. At some point, when you lose a couple trades, especially when you blow an account, you think that anybody out there that says they're making money is lying to you. You think it's not possible. You think it just can't be done. But that's not the case at all. Just because you can't trade now, that is not a reflection on you in 2 months from now. If you're having a difficult time now, that's just where you are right now. You've taken all the right steps to improve yourself, and we are going to be here to help you improve. So wherever you're getting stuck, we're going to get you past that. And you're not going to blow any more accounts. We're going to stress money management. So this doesn't happen ever again. So you'll never blow another account, and we'll get you making money. We'll have you doubling and tripling your account. Terry asks, what are the mental and behavioral processes that you have made yourself through and throughout the years before you became successful? The processes really come down to responsibility. Once you realize that the power is in your hands, you have the final say. You control the lot size. You control when you trade. You control how many trades you place. You control when you get in. You control when you get out. Once you realize that kind of responsibility, that is a huge deal. You realize you can take smaller trades. That was for me anyways, was I realized I could take smaller trades. I realized I didn't have to trade all the currency pairs I was looking at. I could limit it to just a few. I realized I was my worst enemy. And once I realized that I had control, it was me, it was up to me, things started to change. I realized I had the abilities, and it sounds kind of nonsensical. It sounds, just looking at it from the outside, it sounds odd that I had to actually realize that I was the one pulling the trigger. But once you're in there, once you're sort of overwhelmed with the losses, once you're overwhelmed with what the market's doing and being sure you're on the right side and doubting yourself and doubting your system, having that realization really kind of clears all of that stuff up. And that was the biggest one for me. It was the one that kind of flipped the switch, was I realized I had the power. Alan asks, why do most traders find it so difficult to actually follow a trade program or a method? Fear and greed drive traders to break the rules, but most traders never overcome this problem. That's a good question. And what it is most traders can't put the finger on the problem. They know that it's a problem. They know it's sabotaging their trading, but they're not sure what it is that they're doing. They're not quite sure where the problem is exactly, what the problem is. They know that it's affecting them, but they can't put their finger on it. Now that's the big one. Secondly is traders often, especially some of the new guys, they don't want to admit that there's a problem, and I was really bad for that to begin with. I didn't want to admit that I was my problem. I was my biggest problem. And once you can admit that, okay, well, there's something going on here, and it's a human thing, and it's got nothing to do with you as a person. It has nothing to do with how smart you are. It has nothing to do with what you've learned in the past. It's because you're a human, you're an emotional person, and that's where the issues are. So we are going to put the finger on the problem for you. We're going to show you, hey, this is where the problem lies, and this is what you can do to fix it. And fixing it actually becomes quite simple once you realize what the problem is, and you can say, yeah, I think it needs a little work, and we'll give you the tools and everything that you need to to get that work done. And you'll very quickly overcome these issues and start to trade more consistently after that. Number 15, Pierre. Hello, number 15, Pierre. What do I need to do to become a very successful trader? Well, you're doing the best thing that you can do, and that is being a member of the Forex Master Method system. We are going to provide you all the tools. And now it's not just the trading system that's important. You need a really good trading system. There's no question about that. You can't be entering buy trades at the top of a move. You can't be entering sell trades at the bottom. So you have to have a system that really does get you in at the best prices. But then there's money management, there's trade management, there's emotional management. I mean, there's all kinds of additional stuff on top of the system itself. And with the forum, with the blog, I'm going to be feeding you information all the time. And everything that I post, all the questions that I answer are going to help. And we will answer your questions specifically, Pierre. If you says you want to become a very successful trader, which leads me to think that at the moment you're not a very successful trader. So we will take care of that. We'll get you turned around. Mel, nice to see you, Mel. I see in the videos that the master method is used on the small time frames, the 15-minute or smaller. Can the master method be used on the higher time frames like the daily charts? Absolutely they can. In the videos that I've done, I did quite a few of the 15-minute charts, and that was because I just didn't have a whole lot of time to trade. And you are going to probably associate with that. You don't have a whole lot of time to trade. Putting this master method system, this package together, really was a big job for me. It was huge, and it's not just me. There were lots of people involved in this, and it was a big job for everybody, and it took all of our time. So when I was trading, I had to trade the smaller time frames, and that's exactly what it did. So that's why the videos that you see of me were trading the 15-minute. It's not because it works best on the 15-minute. Personally, my favorite time frame is the 1-hour charts, but circumstances being what they were, I just didn't have the luxury during that time to trade the 1-hour charts. So I was trading the 15-minute charts. Now, if you want to trade the 4-hour or the daily or the 5-minute charts, absolutely, this will work on all of those. Hey, Rio. Your question is, you're struggling to correct a single problem. After making a nice group of winning trades, a big loser wipes out all of the gains. Could this be a money management, a trade management, or any other issues? Yes. You will never, if you follow the rules of the master method system, this will never, ever be an issue again. You should never lose more than you win. You will never have an instance where one trade wipes out several winning trades. Like one losing trade will wipe out several losing. Let me say that again. You will never have an instance where one losing trade wipes out several winning trades. Just from that question alone, I am thinking that the losers are way too big and the winners aren't maturing. You're not allowing those winners to hit their profit targets. And I bet you 80% of the time that after you close that trade, you see market does hit your profit target. And you're scratching your head and you're sort of punishing yourself saying, oh, why didn't I hang on to that? It was a huge winner. Yes, exactly, Pierre. Perfect. Yeah, so we're going to get you past all of that. We are, yes, Rio. Absolutely. We are going to get you past that. We are going to get your losses small. We are going to get your winners larger, and we are going to get your winners more often. So you're never going to have that instance where one losing trade wipes out a whole bunch. That should never, ever be the case. Bill, howdy. I have a live trading account, 5,000, and my bad news is I lost 3/5 of it, so 3,000 bucks. I'm not consistent in my trading system. Only one question: how to perform well in Forex while there are always psychological factors involving during the live trading with real money. Real money, as you noticed, real money is hugely different than demo account. They're night and day. You can do really well on a demo account because it really doesn't mean that much. But when you're trading real money, that real money really does come into play. It really messes with your head. So being consistent essentially will require you to consistently follow the rules. You need to lose the nervousness. You need to get rid of the stress. And having a system like this Master Method system will help you do that, because you will see how profitable it can be. You'll start to understand, start to realize that you can hang on to that trade longer. That you don't have to take those profits off the table real quick, and that when you do get a loss, that you're going to take it in stride. It's all part of a bigger picture. So we'll get you trading consistently, Bill. Number Sandra. Hello, Sandra. What is your goal that motivates you to trade Forex? For me, and this is important, this is actually a really, really good question. What is my goal that motivates me to trade Forex? You need a goal that motivates you. If you're listening to this now, Forex is a tough business. It's profitable and it can be the best business that you've ever been in. But you're going to need a little bit of sticking power. You're going to need a reason to keep doing it. So having a goal to trade Forex is really important. For me personally, it was family time. I was missing my kids' early years. They were very little, and it's the best time of their lives. And I was missing most of it. I was working 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. I was working the weekends, and I was at work for 16 to 18 hours a day. Like, that's ridiculous. Nobody should have to do that, especially when you've got little kids at home. You've got a wife or a husband or significant other. You want to be a big part of their lives. And for me, that was really what made me get into the investments. I wanted my money to make more money so that I physically didn't have to. Getting into the Forex was just a continuation of that. It was the way that I could invest myself. And I knew that there was almost an unlimited ceiling. You could earn as much money as possible, as you wanted, really. So that was my motivating why. That was the goal I had, was to get out of the printing career that I had and get into a less time consuming, something that I could do at home job that made significantly more money. I could spend more time with the kids, and I could finally start to enjoy my family and my life. Shirley asks, as the owner of the Forex Rebellion system, I am really looking forward to the latest version, the Master Method system. By the way, do these systems complement each other? They do. Rebellion and the Forex Master Method are two completely different systems. They're not similar. They don't look the same. They don't use the same tools. They are very, very different systems. But if you really, really like the Rebellion system, and I know a lot of traders do, you can implement a lot of the Master Method techniques and indicators to Rebellion. Now, I don't want to get into the Rebellion stuff too much because that's not where this is. This is Master Method stuff. But you can definitely add it to not just Rebellion, but if you've got another system that you really, really like, you can implement these strategies. Absolutely. Mark asked me, I'm not a trader and I don't know anything about it, but I would like to learn. Are there any chances of me learning this system and making money? Absolutely, Mark. If you don't know anything about it, let me put it this way, is you don't have bad habits yet. And if you can get in on this system, we're going to teach you the good habits right off the bat. So you don't have to unlearn anything. You won't have to relearn anything. You don't have to make any changes. You're going to get started on the right foot. You'll be doing all the right things right off the bat. So you absolutely are going to have a great chance of learning this system and making money. Amir, hey Amir, wants to know if there are tons of, okay, start that over again. As you know, there are tons of FX trading systems and methods. So what makes Forex Master Method system significantly better than the rest? First, the Forex Master Method system I've used for 10 years. The Master Method system was derived from systems that the biggest guys in the game use, and they still use today. It has staying power, this thing. It's been working for the last 10 years since I've been using it. It's going to work for the next 10, 15, 20, 50 years. As long as there's something to trade, the Master Method system will work very well. I'm here for you. I'm going to make you do what you got to do to become a trader. If you're serious about it, you're going to have the tools. I'm going to feed you the information. There's going to be the blog posts. There's going to be regular emails. You can ask your questions in the forums. If you're stuck, we're going to get you past that. We are going to make this really good system work for you because we are going to get you past whatever you couldn't get past before. Jorgen, my broker does not have MT4. What is my solution? There are a couple indicators, as you know, that have used the MT4 platform, but the indicators for the actual Master Method system you can get anywhere. They're on any platform, and I made sure that this was the case, so you can trade on any platform. If you want to use MT4 editions that we provide, then open up an MT4 demo account. I do that. I've got a couple of different accounts. One of them is with an MT4 broker. One of them is not. Now I'll use the MT4 charts to find my trades, go to the non-MT4 broker, place my trade, manage the trade, get out of the trade. I'll do that in the other platform. But I'm using my MT4 chart to find these trades. Now the indicators, the system for the Forex Master Method is something that you can use on virtually any other charting package, any other charting software. And again, this was done intentionally. I didn't want to make it something that you were really restricted to just a single chart. You can use it anywhere you want. Marcus, hey, nice to see you here. Is this a system that is profitable over the long term? Does it respond to changes in the market? Absolutely. Like I mentioned, it's something that I've used for the last 10 years. It's something that some of the biggest guys in the trading world use. And once you see how the system works, you will find that, yes, it is going to work for you, probably for as long as you want to trade. This is a long-term trading solution. Gregory asks, what are some of the most consistent errors that I have made in my trading, and how have I worked to reduce these errors? The errors that I've had have been emotional. I've made emotional decisions that I didn't even know I was making, taking profits too early, letting a winning trade go way too long, having it turn around and take out my stop, those kinds of things. But another error that I had was system hopping. I would get onto a system, this cool new system, it was the best thing ever, and then I would try it and worked for a couple trades, and then I lost a trade, like, oh, this thing doesn't work at all. So I went on to the next system. So you go on to the next system, you have to relearn that new system, you've got to learn all the new bits and pieces to it. Okay, now you take a couple of trades. Oh, that doesn't work very well, and it was my fault. The system seemed to work fine. So I went on to the next one. Now, if you're going to do that, and I know people that do that for years and years and years, always looking for the next system. and it's just almost daily, week after week, they're looking for another system. You have to stick to a system. The master method system has a really good win-loss ratio. If you stick to it, you learn it, you become very familiar with it, you're going to win quite a lot. You are going to be profitable. This is really one of the biggest errors that traders make: emotional issues and the system hopping. Max, how can you put a stop to the never-ending cycle of losing trades? Forex Master Method. That's how you're going to do it. Not just the method itself, but the psychology, the emails, the help in the forum. We're going to get you over that, buddy. Now, I am being told by my technical guy, John, that we are running very, very quickly out of time. So I'm going to do the next couple of questions here quickly, but I want to get to them because every question is important. How did I know? This is from John. This is not technical John. No offense, technical John. Other John. Nice to see you here. How did you know that trading was your talent and passion? And do you still get a rush of adrenaline when you enter a trade? I almost hate to admit it, but I kind of do. You've heard, if you've been around the block once or twice in the Forex world, you heard that you want to eliminate the emotion out of your trading. And that's impossible. You can't do that. You can get it to a place where the emotions don't dictate what you're doing. I hate losing a trade. I don't like it at all. But I can shrug it off because it is how it is. That's all there is to it. There's nothing more than that. But I don't like it. The winning trades, I love those. I love to see my take profit get hit. Now, it's not the same as it was way back in the day when I started finally to get on that right track. I started to win quite a bit more than I was losing, and I would hit that winning, hit my take profit, and I just do the little happy dance. It's not like that, but I really do enjoy it. I feel happy. When I win the trade, I feel happy. When I lose a trade, I'm not so happy. But I don't quite get that adrenaline rush. It's not the same anymore. But I do enjoy a winning trade, and I do disenjoy a losing trade. Dan asks, when you have an open trade, how do you spend your time? Being a manual trader, I've learned it is very difficult not to watch the market all the time. That is the truth. If you watch the market all the time, it may lead you to do things you shouldn't be doing. Getting out of trades when you should be allowing them to run. Getting out of trades when you shouldn't be. Taking your profit, maybe even getting out of a very small loss when you shouldn't be. You have to allow those trades to breathe. Now, what I suggest is if you're in a trade, now this again depends on the time frame. If you're doing a 4-hour time frame, so you only need to monitor the chart every 4 hours. I mean, there's all kinds of things. You just live your life in between. But if you're doing something on a 1-hour chart, 15-minute chart, you kind of have to be handy. You've got to be around because you don't want too many candles to go by without some kind of trade management. What I do is I'll backtest. I'll backtest the system that I'm trading. Forex Master Method, I'll get into the trade, and then I'll scroll back on my charts, and I'll be looking for a trade that was very similar, like had a very similar setup to the trade that I'm in. And time after time after time after time, I can find those setups working out successfully. This gives me the added oomph to stay in that trade, to allow it to do what it's going to do. So I will sit at my computer and I will do some fairly enjoyable backtesting. And that just reinforces that I am in a good trade. So no matter what happens, even if I lose, it was a good trade, and the probabilities are very high that it works out. So that is what I spend most of my time doing. If I'm in a 1-hour trade, for example, I will write an article. I'll be on the forum. I'm going to be spending an awful lot of time over the next little while with you guys. Well, I think that is going to be just about it. Let me answer this one here from Scooter. Scooter, it's nice to see you. I'm glad you asked this question. Could you explain why you are so confident about your trading system? And most importantly, what I can do to achieve the same level of confidence and trust that I have in the system. And that is an intimate knowledge of the system, an intimate familiarity, knowing how it works, a stick-to-itiveness, the lack of system hopping. You don't want to be jumping from system to system. You want to stick to a system. You want to learn how it works. You want to get really, really familiar how the market moves in relation to your system. You want to know that when you are in a trade, because of what's happened in the past, you are in a high probability trade, that there is going to be a chance that it succeeds. My quote-unquote slogan is, when I'm in a trade, I feel like I'm cheating. When I'm trading, I feel like I'm cheating. And this is essentially this system, is I feel like I've got an edge over everybody. Because when I am trading, the system has proven itself so many times over so many years that I don't have any question about taking these trades. I have so much confidence just because of the length of time I've been doing it, the number of years that I've been testing it and working it. I know what the odds are. I know what the probabilities are. When I take a trade, I am extremely confident how it's going to work out. It doesn't always work out that way, but I'll take the next one because I know that one will. I know how the system works, and I am so familiar with it that I have no question at all that I am going to be making money by the end of the month. At the end of the month, I'll be making my percentage, and I will be ahead of the game. And it's that familiarity. You have to stick to a system. You can't just be jumping from one to other, or else you'll never get that sort of confidence in your trading system. Okay, I think that is going to be it for the questions today, because we have gone over the allotted amount of time. I do apologize for those that have stayed, and I know that for some of you it is extremely late at night or very, very early in the morning. I want to thank you very much for being here today. And there were a lot of questions, and if I didn't get to your question, I will get to them next time. We are going to do this on the inside. We're going to have these kinds of webinars every week. They're going to be something that we do all the time. So if I didn't get to your question now, I apologize. Sincerely, I do. But if you're a member on the inside, we'll get to them. Absolutely, we'll get to them on the forum. We'll get to them however we can. We'll make sure that your questions are answered. So once again, I do appreciate you taking the time to spend an hour with me today, and I really hope I see you on the inside. Ronnie, holy cow, 3 a.m. in the morning. Man, I appreciate you staying up late for this. This is Monday, Tuesday maybe for you, so it's late, and I really understand and appreciate the sacrifice that you've made, because you probably have to be up for work in a few hours. So really, I do appreciate the time everybody has taken with me today, and I hope I've answered some questions, and that really what the goal was is to get an idea of me and my sincerity and my willingness to help and share what I know. And the Master Method course, the system, really is, it's a terrific system, and I have the utmost faith in it. I know it inside and out, and because of that, I will be able to help you get to where I'm comfortable, to the level that I trade. There should be no problem with that. As long as you are following the rules, as long as you are doing everything that is required, and it's not a hard thing to do, but where it does get hard, we'll help you through it. So again, that's going to be it for today, and if I didn't answer your questions, I really apologize, because I really would like to answer all of them. I could spend the next 5 hours here, but my technical guy, John, is telling me we got to go. So again, thank you very, very much. And if you've had any concerns about becoming a member of the Forex Master Method group, the family, please take the plunge. We'll make sure it's worth your while. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the inside in the members area. So you take care, and good trading to all of you. Bye-bye.